This thing was out on this one road. It was after the flooding we had, and the road got washed out. It was over, I don't remember the name, Irish Mountain Road maybe. It was some gravel road. It washed out.
West Virginia's record-breaking flood this year left many back roads in bad shape. While attempting to repair a gravel road deep in the hills of Raleigh County, a grader sinks into the soft ground. Glen's towing is called to pull the machinery out of the mud, but the crew is concerned about their own vehicles also getting stuck in the muddy mess.
Well, when we went to, they called us, said they needed a rotator to get this thing out. So me and Chuck head out that way. Well, we went out so far, we was tempted to come back. It was that far out in the country.
Biggest problems you have with situations like that, you've got now with the ground is saturated, you've got soft shoulders to work off of. The roadway obviously has already had issues. That's why they're out trying to fix it. At the meantime, you're trying to bring in heavy equipment like rotators, added extra stress to the road bed. It's a very tedious situation.
That grader is so much different than the car because, first of all, it's a lot heavier. They got different stress points, different points you can hook to. It's just got so many different areas, and just a totally different beast than an automobile. And then when this thing buries up, you got 6 wheels buried up. You got a blade that's in the mud. So the way it goes, there's really not a center point like a vehicle that that's really convenient to find. And then with the area we had to work out of, a little single lane gravel road, it kind of restricted what you can do with it right there. So luckily they had a grade all there, which kind of worked a little bit on the front end to help us break loose from the mud to get it pulled back up onto the gravel road.
The grader was trying to just grade the road out, and I guess when he got over just a little bit towards the ditch line to where it was so wet, he just sunk plumb out of sight. I mean, it absolutely buried it up. You couldn't even, on the one side, I guess you'd call it on the driver's side a bit, because it was the wheels, you couldn't even see them. Now you're talking the wheels on this grader, they're probably 5 foot in diameter. Pretty good sized grader. Front wheel you couldn't even see. The blade you couldn't even see it. The 2 rear ones you seen half of the rear one, and the front one's all 3/4 under. It was buried up. I mean, it sunk outside. It just found a soft spot and went out. And it was a tight area. They actually brought another one in to make us a little wider area, compact it a little bit, because we actually had to take the rotator down there and get it out. I had to pick up on it a little bit to try dragging it out. Come out pretty easy. They had a grate all they hooked to the front of it and kind of helped us get it out. It didn't take a whole lot, but it was just in the area it was at. It was a gravel road back in the woods, trying to get to some people's houses, trying to get the road open back up. It's really not too bad because you have a little bit of the suction from mud. Now, a vehicle and stuff, dump truck and stuff like that, you got the whole bottom cross, so it definitely makes it a little harder because then you get a good suction to it. The grate all where it's built high anyway, so it don't have a spot to have a plate on the bottom to really make it tight. It took the rotator and the grate all to actually get it out. I mean, it strained a little bit, but the blade was your biggest problem where it sunk down into the mud so bad. We actually drug it up out of there, and they had to get shovels out and clean all the mud off the wheels and get the blade undug. But we drug it all back out, and it actually ended up real good. They had to redo that little ditch line for them, but they took the grate all and done it. They didn't get the grader close to it no more because they didn't want to put it back in there. But the floods is just different. You don't know how much erosion it eats out and stuff, and you just got to watch on the side roads. So I was kind of particular on taking the rotator too far. During the flood, right the day after, we took a lot of equipment and stuff trying to help out during the flood and stuff to people, but it takes a little time just to keep it going.
Coming up on Tow Business. Tom, Colby, and Teddy travel to the Rocky Mountains of Oregon for Tom's son's wedding. Stay tuned. Driving here in the Mountain State is always potentially dangerous, and anything can happen. Glen's Towing and Road Service can help you, whether it's big or small. Glen's Towing does it all. Broken down? Have an accident? Glen's Towing has the heavy-duty towing equipment to get your car or truck or tractor trailer off the side of the road or off the side of the mountain. We've got the best and biggest fleet of towing and recovery equipment in southern West Virginia. Backed by over 15 years experience, we've got the know-how to tow or recover your vehicle without any further damage to your property to get you back on the road. With 4 locations across southern and central West Virginia, we cover Kanawha, Raleigh, Mercer, Fayette, Putnam, Boone, Nicholas, Greenbrier, and Wyoming counties, as well as I-64, 77, 79, and 45 miles of the West Virginia Turnpike. So now you know who to call because Glen's Towing does it all. 304-252-6287.
Tragedy is just a heartbeat away. If you've experienced a serious injury and have questions that need answers, the lawyers at Wooten, Davis, Hussle, and Ellis are here to help. Online at www.dhe.com.